Full moon energy is at its peak, and so is solar flare activity. Things are getting crazy. Schumann resonance is still down. Things are getting intense, and there's a lot of things going on. So I hope everybody's doing well. There is a lot of activity and a lot of things going on right now. We were having radio blackouts happening about 10 hours ago. We've been having all sorts of strange activity and technological glitches. Things are getting crazy and we have to break it down. Welcome everyone in. Joe Sky here, back at it again with another Schumann Resonance video. Update, solar activity update. You get the idea. As you can see, we're in a 12 hours blackout. In all honesty, I mean, about 1 a.m. on November 4, we're about that today. 24-hour blackout, I should say. Power quality 190 might be an error. Alright, and this is what we're seeing. I'm going to break that solar flare activity down in just a minute. Looking at the Italian Schumann resonance, very quiet. Actually, to be honest, it hasn't even changed, which is quite odd. But whoa. Look at this red activity. You guys see these red lines? That's a weird red line. I've never seen a red line like that. Yeah, this thing is continuously surprising me. These are all timeline jumps, timeline shifts right there. I'm noticing a lot of unusual activity in the Italian Schumann resonance, not gonna lie. Very, very active, as you can see. So, as you can see, on the Tomsk station, Schumann resonance, there's been no, hasn't been an update yet. But you might be asking, of course, is there activity? I think there is. This is the electromagnetic spectrum, which is very hard to find these days. Very hard because most websites don't have it or show it. But we are getting data as of November 5th. But it is, of course, a bit strange data. On top of that, of course, um, it looks like it's down. We don't know. Like, there's so much things going on, and this is probably the reasons why. I mean, we have a trans-equatorial coronal hole that is detected in an Earth-facing position. It's been like this now for quite some time, and the maximum X-ray flux is a 9.96. That is the most recent one. That is pretty strong. Even if it's not an M class, it's still strong. Boy, oh boy. We got hit with an X class solar flare. We got hit with two of them back to back. I'm going to cover that. The disturbance storm index predicts minor storm conditions right now. So we've been in this for quite a few. We've been in this for about 4 hours now. We were in active geomagnetic conditions. We did down to a K7 on the magnetometers. And wow, look at the interplanetary magnetic field. If you guys are seeing this right now, there's usually, you guys might see it up and down. Sometimes it goes north. This has just been stuck south, which is very unusual stuff right here. Solar winds are pretty low, pretty fair. KP is at a 4. Let's take a look at the solar flare activity. So to really break this down the last 24 hours, and spoiler, we did get hit with an M-class solar flare, I think, but it's not showing. We were hit with an M-class and two X-classes. It was a 1.8, that's the max, 72-hour max, and the other one was a 1.08, or a 1.1 roughly. Insane, truly powerful, really powerful X-classes. We haven't had one since June 19, which is, pretty crazy if you ask me, right? Because these are very intense, right? Because C's are like kind of strong. Like they're not strong at all. They're just like decent. There's something. And M is strong. And once we get to those M5s, we're strong. X is like way up there. So it's pretty crazy. I haven't had X class since June 19, and we had two of them back to back. So guess what? That's crazy. That is unusual. That is very intense. There's been a lot of coronal mass ejections. I mean, look at all the coronal mass ejections, like 10 of them, which is crazy. And these are huge right here. I mean, let's take a look at these. Hit as hard, like a lot of power here. This one's like almost 360 degrees. Wow. Again, very intense, very powerful CMEs. This corner hole, if we take a look at it, it's starting to move away, but we're still kind of getting that energy, you know? And as you can see, um, definitely a lot of activity. Looking at this image 195, this is definitely a deep coronal hole. This is definitely, might not be the largest ones. Probably, it's not the largest one we've had. It looks small compared to everything we had in the last 2 months. But it was definitely deep and it definitely formed pretty quickly. And it's facing us. You can see all this release on the left. That's even crazier than the last 2 days. Looking at image 94, you can see the two releases we had. One on the left and one on the very left, far left. Those were those X class solar flares, I should say. So again, very crazy here. A lot of things happening. A lot of things happening. So overall, things are definitely crazy right now. We're not getting an update right now for the Schumann Resonance. It's still down. So that's pretty much like what's going on right now. Um, Schumann Resonance is down. Italian Schumann Resonance is looking pretty weird and spiky. We get those red lines, timeline jumps. Um, all the solar activity I talked about, two X class solar flares is insane. Unbelievably insane. Back to back is wild. And I guess we should get into something like symptoms. So you might have some of the wildest symptoms ever. Like, I don't even know what to tell you. It might be with the heart. And I know when people have a lot of solar activity, and I know when things get intense, they start to have heart issues or something, and some people have to go to the ER. I've noticed this where people get flare ups for things. This can definitely happen. And I know older people that have done surgeries or have done various things will suffer a lot sometimes, especially like with these kind of things. I've noticed this with family members who have flare ups with various things. It's always, 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 always when something spiritual or space weather or something like that is happening. So that is something huge, huge. This is huge. I mean, people who have like issues and flare ups, the fact that it's going with this, and again, our bodies are all connected with this one way or another. So when we're getting hit with these things, it does in fact bother us sometimes. Um, right? Our bodies are different, or I guess I want to say like they're connected with these things. We feel these things. We feel the energy. Um, and some are more sensitive than others. So that's a huge probably relief for anyone who's going through a tough time, or maybe just maybe a family member or somebody that's going through this. At least again, we don't know, right? Sometimes things happen, but at the end of the day, um, hopefully everybody learns something. There's a lot of symptoms. I'm gonna assume like just sleepiness and being knocked out, heart palpitations, flare ups. You might have flare ups, whatever your usual stuff is, if you have anything. But I've been pretty good. I've been pretty good though. But I hope everybody's doing good. I want to thank you all so much for watching. Um, there hasn't been really much on 3i Atlas, and yeah, there's just so many other things going on right now. So, and this is huge. Overall, I want to thank you all so much for watching. Like and subscribe, and I'm gonna keep you updated.